Surprisingly, not long ago, Ford basically said you should buy our electric cars, but don't buy our gasoline ones because really they're not as good and they cost more in the long run. Everyone seemed to ignore this, but Ford themselves, even though they don't make all that many electric cars, is saying our EVs are better than our gas cars. And I agree with them. They're 100% right. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm the Electric Viking. Great to see you. My name's Sam Evans and I'm coming to you from Melbourne in Australia. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. And thank you to our Patreon supporters and our YouTube members. It's really you guys that help to drive the channel, help to keep everything going, help to keep the lights on here. Thank you so much for your support in 2022. And by the way, Happy New Year, everyone. 2023 is going to be a fantastic year. One reason I think it's going to be a great year is going to be Ford's production of their EVs will definitely ramp up. Will it ramp up as fast as Ford would like it to? Probably not. Let's be honest. That's the way things have gone for legacy auto the last few years. But will it increase? Will they be able to make more EVs? 100%, no question. Ford has revealed how much EVs will save on fuel costs and reduce emissions. And despite reams of misinformation found online, Ford has dispelled it by sharing the truth about its electric cars and saying, basically, why would you buy a gas car? Buy an EV. Now, there's one key problem with this. There's one very big problem with everything Ford said. I'll tell you what that is in just a minute. You're probably well aware by now, says Stephen Loveday, that electric vehicles are much safer for your health, much safer in terms of actual crash safety tests as well, and the environment than their gas counterparts. However, there are still many people and organizations working to make us believe that's not true, including Toyota, and many automakers were actually on the list of misinformation peddlers over the years. Now Ford have come forward to tell us how it really is. Now, when we talk about many automakers, you guys might have seen my videos saying Toyota saying this, Toyota saying that. Maybe you believe that, maybe you didn't. But interestingly, what I've said has been backed up by numerous organizations claiming, yes, it's true. Toyota has been spreading misinformation intentionally for the last few years about EVs because it simply, it doesn't really make any. EVs don't produce any tailpipe emissions. Guess what? Tailpipe emissions cause cancer. They do. It's a fact. This means there's no smelly, dangerous exhaust coming from your EV. None. It's quickly offset by the lack of emissions during use. While most EV owners are aware that their cars help the environment, they may be much more excited about the actual savings costs going to their pocket. Saving the environment is virtuous, but saving money provides more tangible and immediate rewards. Now, my EV, it's amazing. It saves me a huge amount of money. Plugging it in overnight is easy. I don't even think about it. I just drive into my driveway, plug it in. It literally takes, 10 seconds. And then I never have to think about charging it, pretty much ever. At any rate, according to a recent article published by Electric, Ford revealed how much money an owner of one of its EVs can save over the life of the vehicle by choosing it over a gas car. Ford also showed how much it will reduce CO2 emissions over that period of time. Now, the thing is, this doesn't include, right, the resale value. I mean, when we hit that mass market point where we move from that to that, how long will people still want to buy that? I mean, when this is secondhand, right? And when newer EVs are more affordable, as they will be, the prices will come down, then very few people are going to say, you know what, let's go buy a used one of these. The prices of these will collapse. That's something you have to consider when you're buying a new car. What's going to be the resale value? If you go and pay, say, $60,000 for a car, do you want that car to be worth a fraction of what you paid for it in 5 years' time? Imagine trying to sell a gasoline-powered car in 2030. That's only 7 years away, even less than 7 years. Let's say you want to buy a gasoline-powered car in, next year, 2024, 2023. You own that car for 5 or 6 years. How much money do you think it's really going to be worth? Peanuts. As part of its sustainable financing report, Ford says if you drive an electric car and use the US electrical grid to charge it, your car reduces CO2 emissions by 60% when compared to a gasoline-powered vehicle. The larger the vehicle, the greater the savings. But if you use solar, right, or wind, or if you're living in an area where that grid is renewable, then that reduction in emissions is astronomical. And the savings to your pocket is also insane. I mean, solar, basically free. According to Electric, based on Ford's findings, the F150 Lightning electric pickup truck owners can save more than $27,200 or 8,777 gallons of gas for you guys that are not in the US, that's about 35,000 litres. 35,000 litres, right? Current price, average price worldwide for about that much fuel is around 75,000 Australian dollars or around 50,000 US dollars. That's enormous. Now that's fuel prices outside of the US. Obviously US fuel prices are cheaper, but that said, those savings are only based on the cheapest grade of fuel. If you want to run your car on the cheapest grade of fuel, well, you're probably going to have more problems with your engine. So those savings are actually significantly greater if you want to run your car on decent fuel. This is based on current gas prices and compared to a similar gas-powered F150. E-Transit owners can save around 20,000 US dollars or 6,190 gallons, around 25,000 litres of fuel, and Mustang Mach-E owners can save around 15,000 US dollars and 5,000 gallons of gas. Ford reported the CO2 savings in metric tons as followed: F150 Lightning 78, Mustang Mach-E 42, E-Transit 55. Obviously, if you drive a longer way than other drivers, those savings are going to be significantly bigger. One thing to keep in mind, battery packs are now significantly better than they used to be. You might think and believing this stuff where, the mainstream media says, well, your battery's only going to last you 10 years and you're going to have to pay for a new battery. It's going to cost you another $30,000. So you didn't save any money at all, did you? That is complete nonsense. There are many EVs getting around now on the same battery pack that have done more than 500,000 kilometers with very little battery degradation, or that's more than 300,000 miles. But if you buy an EV with a lithium iron phosphate battery pack, in other words from BYD or Tesla, there's no one else in the US right now that has a car with lithium iron phosphate batteries, not that I'm aware of anyway, they will in the future, but not right now, then your battery will last much, much longer than that. You're looking at over 1 million miles. That's why I always recommend to people, buy a car with an LFP battery pack if you can. Now, what are your thoughts on this? I find it interesting that Ford is basically saying to its customers, only 5% of the cars we make are cars you should actually be buying. How's that going to work for them? Hopefully they can ramp sales really quickly so that they don't lose 95% of their sales. I mean, for example, the key problem with this message from Ford is they're going to be hurting themselves. I mean, realistically, people want the F-150 Lightning, right? People want it in droves. They have more than 250,000 pre-orders and they stopped people from being able to order because the pre-orders numbers were getting too big. Their current production capacity means it would take you about 10 years to get your car if you ordered one today. Of course, they'll ramp production up at some point. How quickly? Nobody knows. Hopefully, for their sake, it's very, very fast. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you, my friends, for watching, and have a great year. Bye-bye.